Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. What up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. You know, I'm always lacing you guys up and try to put you up on game. And you gotta start paying attention to your surroundings. Situational awareness. Now, a lot of you out here, you run around, you're oblivious to your surroundings, you're on your cell phone, you're in traffic, bumper to bumper, you don't leave a space. You go into stores, you're not paying attention to your surroundings. This is a time of awareness. You're gonna have to start taking your well-being into your own hands. And what I mean by that is not just operating nonchalantly through life with your family, when you're out and about, recognizing where you are and who's around you. If you can legally protect yourself, which you know what I mean, then you should be doing it, man. Because what happened in Buffalo, what happened after the Milwaukee game, and what happened in Orange County at the church. See, those individuals had no respect for human life. And then they assumed that whatever they did, if they got caught, they'd just be arrested. But if you had 10 people who were properly trained, popping at their ass, now you're gonna think twice when you run around thinking you're gonna get away with something and ain't nobody packing something. See, the police are there to protect and to serve, but they might not necessarily be in the vicinity when something like this happens. And people are looking for someone to save them, but in certain situations, you have to save yourself, man. You have to protect your family. I give props to those who teach their young kids how to hunt, how to properly handle a you-know-what. And in all honesty, it should be part of the graduation process for any household that expects to have an alpha male that's gonna protect. Because when somebody runs up in your house and you tell them, please don't, that's not enough, man. That's not enough. They need to have something else done to them. You know what I'm talking about. They need that dome wiggled up. Because you should never have to worry and fear that your family could be violated. And it appears that people everywhere aren't really respecting humanity as they should. But This country was built on protecting yourself from predators. A predator is exactly what they are, a predator, and they don't care about the consequences of their actions. So what you got to do is get rid of them. Protect your family. They have it coming if they come after your family. They have it coming if they run up in these places and think that it's all good, shooting and hooting. How the hell did the guy in Buffalo get arrested? I would assume that dude they should have just sniped that dude. He shouldn't even be going to court. How did that happen? And then the guy in Orange County and Laguna Wood rushed the guy who was an immigrant of Asian descent, and he died in the process, a doctor, but he allowed some of the other parishioners to get away. See, if somebody in there would have been legally strapped, it would have been a wrap. And not to say that these things couldn't have been prevented, but you got to have a sense that if you run up in somewhere, you could possibly get your dome blown off, and you're going to think twice. You're not going to be as quick to think you're going to shoot around in public if legally, I'm not saying illegal, legally, the people in that community are protecting themselves. When you're walking down the street, stay off your phone. Pay attention to see if somebody's following you. Watch the cars parked on your street. Look over your shoulder. Walk like you're paying attention. Don't be so gullible in public. You see somebody walking around with a mask on, and you know it's over X amount of degrees and it's hot. They probably a robber, man. They're not trying to protect themselves from that thing. You know what I'm talking about? They're a robber. They're trying to gaffle something. You got to pay attention, man. When you go into a restaurant, watch where you sit at. Watch for the exits. If you're going anywhere public, always pay attention to the staircase where you can get away, or where there's something that you can get behind in case somebody's acting a fool. You gotta be on point, man. This is not a time to be walking around, oh, what to do, oh. Man, pay attention. You're in traffic, leave a space between you and the car, ahead of you. Don't ride around if you're in certain areas with your doors unlocked. Lock your doors. Be ready to get up out of there and punch out if you have to. You see a suspicious car in your rear view, and you switch lanes, they switch lanes, you bust a corner, they bust a corner. Hey man, mash up on that gas, man. Especially if you in something exotic or something luxury, because they probably a jack boy. You gotta pay attention, man. This shit is open season, and man, these knuckleheads, man, they not caring. And then when they get caught up and something happened to them, they wanna scream the blues, man. But they had it coming because they had no respect for your property. I mean, you got people now scared to wear their watches. People fearing that they can't shop in certain areas because if they come out with bags, they might get robbed. I mean, it's out of control, man. It's out of control. So for those of you out there, if you have the ability to protect yourself, go out there and get you some protection and pay attention to your surroundings. At nighttime, don't be walking by yourself. Don't leave the club at night by yourself. Don't go to the store by yourself at night. Make sure that you don't park in dark areas of the parking lot. If there's not lights on in certain areas of a parking lot or parking structure, make sure that you park where you can be seen. Always have something bright on if you're out by yourself. Pay attention, man. certain neighborhoods know where you're at. You know, you don't want to be caught slipping in the wrong area, the wrong place. You know, if you feel that you're out somewhere and you see people gathering and they don't look like they up to anything positive, get the hell up out of there. It's like going in a club. I remember going into clubs and I would see a bunch of dudes come in and all they do is go stand against the wall. They're not there to talk to any females. They're there to kick some shit off. Get up out of there. You know, man, you know, if something is not vibing right, and you gotta take those innuendos and act on them and get the hell out. You don't want to be caught up in a situation where you're on the news and you're saying, oh my God, you know, I thought I seen something that was possibly suspect, but I didn't act on it. I'm not telling you to be Charlie Bronson. I'm not saying to go out here and become Superman. All I'm saying is be careful of your surroundings and protect yourself, protect your family. Don't open a door after a certain time at night unless you're expecting company. Watch out for these different people that you invite into your circle. You got people that be cool with you. Next thing you know, they tell a homie, oh, he got a bunch of luxury watches. You know, I think he carry money at the house. He was talking about, you know, he be counting bread and this and that. Or you meet some girl on one of these websites and she talking about, oh, this and that. And she come over and she got some dudes that she work with and they robbers. All this stuff is going on right now at a high level, man, at a high level. So you got to be really proactive in your security and your personal well-being. You walking home at night, or if you're coming from a fancy place and you got a watch on, man, look, these dudes, you don't know if it's the valet, you don't know if it's the waiter, you don't know who had maybe gave somebody a heads up that this guy had a Richard Mille or a Patek or a Rollie, and they waiting for you, man. You got to be careful, man. You got to be really careful, man, because that's what type of time people are on. And they know the average person is just going to be like, oh, please don't. You know, out here in AZ, yeah, they got some fire for you. You go to Texas, they got some fire for you. You go to Florida, they got some fire for you. And even in those places, you got people who try stupid stuff, but at least they got some fire for you. So be careful, man. Situational awareness 101. You don't ever sit with your back to the door. You don't ever let somebody get in your personal space, walk up on you, cut you off as far as in a public place. You got to watch, man. These people try to stumble you up. That little couple second of crossing you up, getting close to you, gives them enough time to try to see what you got on your wrist, to try to read your body, to see if you maybe are working with something and possibly put down a move. So you got to be extra careful, man. Especially you out here with your kids. You watching your kids, you know, you got people out here who are on some really sick time and, you know, they looking for opportunities. Man, protect your kids, man. Protect your wife. Protect your girlfriend, protect your spouse, protect your family. But protection is number one. Go take you a course on how to handle a firearm. Go take you a course on close quarter combat, how to gouge somebody's eyeballs out, how to chop somebody, you know, real quick in the esophagus, how to get out of somewhere. A lot of these situations out here, you know, 911, but it might be a minute before they can get there. So be on top of your game, man, and make sure that you recognize a situation before it happens, possibly so that you can keep other people safe and keep your family safe and keep yourself safe. Big Herc 916. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com. I'm Big Hurt, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing, you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this Mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive.